Welcome back to another Explainer. Today, we're jumping straight into a seriously lore-heavy and honestly visually spectacular segment of the Abyss Gate, the Frozen Guardian and the Crimson Betrayal. The stakes have been steadily rising for a while now, but this sequence, it completely unpacks the history of the successors, reveals a massive betrayal that literally reshaped the world, and hits us with a cliffhanger that changes absolutely everything. So let's not waste any time and jump right into the Frozen Palace. Okay, we are not getting any slow build-up here. The story drops us immediately into scene 1, right into the heart of this raging, blinding snowstorm inside a frozen throne room. Our core group, Kale, Seraphina, Lyra, and Mira, suddenly find themselves staring down a colossal, ancient ice dragon. And the crazy thing, its first words aren't just some mindless roar for blood. It gives this chilling, articulate warning. Leave now, successor. It recognizes exactly what Kale is and is giving him one single chance to walk away. But you know Kale, he refuses to leave without the truth, and Seraphina instantly readies her weapon. The tension is just palpable. So Kyle being Kyle, he absolutely refuses to back down, and we immediately get this fascinating elemental clash. The dragon unleashes a massive blast of freezing breath, an energy so intense it instantly freezes the already frigid palace. But instead of dodging out of the way, Kyle activates his dark shadow armor to just tank it head-on. He charges straight through the ice storm, completely enveloped in this dark aura, and directly challenges the dragon with the line, "Let's see if shadows can freeze." It's a raw, brutal test of power, really establishing that Kyle is more than willing to meet ancient, overwhelming force face-to-face.
But hey, Kale isn't fighting this thing alone. Seraphina steps up and unleashes something entirely new to us, a successor's authority. This golden eruption of energy from her blade is so incredibly concentrated that it actually collides with the giant dragon and physically pushes the ancient beast back. Even Kale is caught off guard by it. This is a massive detail because it proves that the successors possess hidden, highly specialized techniques that can hold their own against a legendary monster. It's a spectacular show of force that actually manages to halt the dragon's onslaught for a second. And right there, that is when the entire vibe of the scene completely flips. The dragon pauses, it's observing Kale's fighting stance, and the atmosphere shifts from this desperate battle for survival into a deep mystery. The beast utters a totally surprising phrase. You fight exactly like him, the fourth successor. It's not reacting to Kale's power anymore. It's recognizing a ghost from a forgotten era. We get this cinematic flashback of a legendary warrior clad in very similar shadow armor fighting right alongside the dragon. Suddenly, Kale isn't just an intruder to this beast. He's carrying the echo of a forgotten legacy. Well, this triggers a massive lore drop that literally reframes everything we know about the story. Back in the era of the Nine Powers, the successors actually stood united. But then came the first betrayal. The dragon explicitly reveals that the fourth successor, the exact guy whose will Kale seemingly inherited, didn't just fall in battle against some random enemy. No, he was murdered by one of his own. And the architect behind that betrayal, the entity we now know as the Hollow King. To really put this into perspective, let's look at this stark contrast between these two historical figures. You have the loyal fourth successor who fought alongside the guardian dragon, and then you have the Hollow King. Here is the absolute bombshell. The Hollow King wasn't some outside demonic invader. Actually, scratch that, he was an insider. He was a corrupted ally. He was one of them, totally consumed by the greed to possess all nine powers, which led to a betrayal that nearly destroyed the entire world. This changes the game, right? It turns a standard monster-slaying conflict into this deeply personal, ancient tragedy. The villain is a fallen hero. So after dropping that historical bombshell, the dragon abruptly goes from trying to freeze our heroes solid to being incredibly helpful. It's quite the dramatic change of heart. Using its magic, it crafts this intricate, glowing map made entirely of ice right there in the middle of the throne room. And this projection points to one specific, highly terrifying location, the Fortress of Chains. The dragon looks at them and says point blank, "Your enemies are here." It's a brilliant way to transition our group from just wandering around the frozen wastes to having a crystal clear, incredibly dangerous destination. But of course, they don't even get a second to study the map. Mira's system detects hostile gate activity, and the tension skyrockets from 0 to 100. A dark portal literally tears open the space right above the Frozen Kingdom, and out steps the Crimson General. He's clad in this heavy armor, and he just announces, the Hollow King summons the Ninth. Yep, the Hollow King knows they are here, and he has sent one of his absolute strongest enforcers to wipe them off the map.
What happens next is just absolute, pure chaos. The Crimson General attacks without a single ounce of hesitation, and the Ice Dragon meets him head-on, roaring the word traitor. As these two ancient titans collide, the sheer force of their impact shatters the entire environment. Giant ice pillars break, the ceiling is crumbling down, and Lyra is screaming that the whole place is falling apart. It is a literal disaster movie playing out in real time, while our heroes are caught right in the crossfire.
Right in the middle of this collapsing ice, Kale experiences a crucial evolution. First, that mysterious mark of his flares to life. Second, the system unlocks a brand new skill called Shadow Step. And third, without even hesitating for a second, Kale tests it out and instantly teleports right behind the towering Crimson General. This is a massive leap for the magic system we've seen so far. It shows Kale is rapidly evolving, proving he can adapt the Fourth's legacy into his own combat style on the fly. And man, it completely shocks the General.
But look, even with Kale's awesome new power, the General is just an overwhelming threat. And here we hit the emotional climax of the sequence. In a profound moment of sacrifice, the ancient ice dragon physically shields the group with its own body from a devastating attack. Entrusting Kale with the legacy of its fallen comrade, the dragon commands him, "You carry his will, the Fourth's, go to the fortress, end this war." The dragon pays the ultimate price to buy them the precious seconds they need to survive. With the dragon holding back the Crimson General, the group has a split-second window. A magical escape portal opens up. Seraphina and Lyra are pushing the group, just shouting at everyone to move. Talk about a narrow, desperate escape. They have to jump through the portal, literally leaving the heroic dragon behind to face the General completely alone as the entire frozen kingdom collapses into ruin around them. It is incredibly bittersweet. Sure, they have the map and the truth now, but they had to leave a powerful new ally behind to face certain doom. So the portal spits them out onto a cliff overlooking their new destination, the Fortress of Chains. And wow, it is a terrifying, gigantic black stronghold, sitting under a sky totally choked with violent lightning. Oh, and the walls? They are patrolled by an army of literally thousands of monsters. The sheer scale of the danger they are walking into is suddenly made very, very real. They basically escaped a falling palace, only to arrive at the gates of hell itself.
And just when you think they can finally catch their breath, boom, we get a brilliant cliffhanger. The perspective shifts all the way up to the very highest tower of this dark fortress. There, amidst the crashing lightning, a figure bound in heavy chains slowly raises their head and speaks a single word: Kyle. Kyle somehow hears this or senses it and is left completely stunned. I mean, how in the world does a prisoner locked at the absolute top of the Hollow King's fortress know Kyle's name before they've even met?
Which brings us to the end of our explainer today, and man, we are left with a mountain of mysteries. Who exactly is this Chain's successor? Why on earth does he know Kale's name? What actually happened to the true physical body of the Fourth successor during the first betrayal? Is there any hope at all that the Ice Dragon survived that collapsed against the Crimson General? And finally, what dark secrets are truly locked inside that fortress? Think about how the Hollow King's betrayal connects to that prisoner. Ask yourself, is Kale walking into a rescue mission or a meticulously laid trap? We are going to find out together next time as we prepare for the siege of the Fortress of Chains.